And joining me now in studio is Leah Forshtat, the founder of Come True. Hi, Leah. Thanks so much for being here.
Hi.
So there's been 2 months. 2 months have passed since the filming of the documentary that Tommy did about the South Sudanese children. What has happened since?
It seems like it happened in another life. So much has happened since. Since then, I can tell you about the heroes of the film. 2 children in the film, Regina and Tedo, have left Come True and joined their family in Egypt because they're in the process of relocation to the US. We hope that it will work for them, for their family.
Egypt, and hopefully the last destination will be the US. We also heard that following the film, you were able to locate another group of about 20 South Sudanese that you were also able to bring to Trinity. How did you find this group of children?
It's actually, we're getting phone calls all the time from families who've been to Israel and they are now in South Sudan. And many times we have to turn them down and tell them we'll have to register your children in our waiting list, but now we don't have scholarships for them. But from time to time, Rami and I just feel that it's too much for us, and we say, let's bring them in, even if we didn't find the scholarships yet, and then we'll make do with what we have, we'll find the sponsors, it will be okay. So,
but how do you do it? I know that you were able to find funding within a matter of days for these few children in order for them to start school on time.
Yeah,
how are you able to raise these funds?
We didn't really find funding for them. We're still looking. But what we found is the funding to bring them for the trip from South Sudan. Some of them had a flight within South Sudan because their hometown was so destitute that they had to fly to Juba and then take the bus and the visa. And
what happened in South Sudan that made the situation so much worse than before?
It's getting worse all the time. It's deteriorating rapidly. It's the civil war, and because of the civil war, the farmers cannot grow the crops, so there's malnutrition and then hunger. According to the World Health Organization, South Sudan is expected to enter into a hunger-defined situation within a short time, and they expect it to be the worst hunger in Africa within the last 2 decades.
So you were able to help 170 students study. You helped their funding, or the funding is on the way, but physically they're in Uganda now while their families are still in South Sudan, if I understand correctly.
Some of the families are in South Sudan, some of the families are refugees elsewhere in Kenya, in refugee camps, some are in Uganda, some are in Egypt. We have parents all over.
So, I mean, for you, this has been a life-changing experience because this is now your full-time occupation.
It's not my full-time job. It's not what I live off. I do this voluntarily.
But this is something you do on a daily basis.
Yes, and it is full-time, okay? But I have another job which pays my salary.
So what is the next step for Come True?
I think the next step for us, Rami and I are going to Uganda at the end of this month for a visit of about a week to establish the relationship with the new schools. We also started some new schools, and we have to establish the good partnership with them. It usually happens this way, that the minute we bring in more children, we start getting a lot more phone calls because these families, they know other people and they know other people, so we start getting more and more requests to join. So we have a growing waiting list now above these 30 children that you just brought in. And then who are the people
who have been funding so far? Where have you found most of your funds? And people that are now watching, how can people help?
Okay, it's really funny because none of us is a professional fundraiser. We fundraise through Facebook mostly.
Through the page Come True?
Through our Come True page and through our website, Become World. And The donations, even though most of our donors are Israeli, but the donations are tax deductible for U.S. citizens, so it would be helpful if we could break this barrier and get some donors from the U.S.
Leah Forshtat, thank you so much for this. I hope that people watching this will know to now visit your Facebook page at Come True for those who want to help. Thanks so much for watching us today. We'll have a new show for you tomorrow. Join us.